Well, live stream talks on Wednesday. And today we will bring a really interesting topic. So, if you want to learn more about our countries, some traditions, some curiosities, you need to stay tuned because we will come with some golden nuggets who will make your mouth, not your day, your mouth. I'm responsible of this. So stay tuned. By the way, let me turn the lights on because they look good. Okay, so let's before. Okay, there you go. There you go. I have lights behind me.
Nice.
So let's make the round around the world. Harper, how are you today?
Hello and good morning from sunny Arizona, USA. I am doing outstanding today.
Perfect. And in Belgium,
Good
Chris.
evening in Belgium. I am perfect here and I have some sweeties for you.
Welcome.
You're sweet to yourself.
And Stephen, how is
Hello
UK?
from wonderful Wiltshire in England. It's a beautiful autumn day, and I'm glad to be here.
So do we. And Maria.
Hi, everyone, from beautiful Ontario, Canada. Lovely to join you all. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thanks.
You're welcome. And we have Mr. Udini Karinder. Are you there, Karinder? Can you hear us?
I think
Well,
adjustments are going on.
Okay, some issues with the internet. Okay, so
Hi, Corinder.
Hello,
are you?
Linda.
Hello, hello. So let's start with the topic of today. And why did our topic choosing crew department came with this topic today? I was curious to know more about others, traditions, curiosities, and also I wanted to know, and this is curious because I had to prepare this show, and I wanted to know why, for instance, in Portugal, it's so usual the codfish, bacalhau in Portuguese. And it's funny because it's not even a fish we have in the Portuguese coast. So I was wondering, why the hell do we have bacalhau? So important in our gastronomy. Okay, so I was wondering why these things, and I came with this topic. Okay, so let's start the party. Let's let the drum roll. So who wants to start?
Well,
Harper.
I'll go first. So the tradition, holiday, whatever you want to call it. Thank you. The holiday I want to talk about is Thanksgiving. Most Americans think that Thanksgiving is we're just giving thanks for being American or whatever. But actually, what the first Thanksgiving was actually celebrated in 1621. It was shortly after those that we refer to as the Pilgrims. They came, basically, it was Protestants that came over from Northern Europe. They were kind of somewhat banished from Great Britain because they weren't celebrating the Catholic religion, and then they wanted to get even further away from Great Britain, so they came to, quote, the New World. And the first winter that they arrived, in 1620, and then the first winter, most of them died. So when they came around for the next year, they were actually celebrating their thanks that they were giving was for surviving over the year. They actually invited native Indian that were local. They came. In fact, that's how we learned about corn. They brought corn and stuff, and so it was. That's what the actual Thanksgiving celebration was actually about. It was they were giving thanks for actually living, making it a whole year. And then each year it was just one of those, they kept giving thanks because the winters were so bad. And that was where most of the colonies that came over, because Columbus landed here in 1492, and so we had colonization up until that point, so almost 130 years prior. But most of the colonies weren't making it through a winter. That even back in 900 900 to 1000 AD, when I forget, was it Eric the wasn't Eric the Red, but Leif Erikson, whoever it was, landed out in Newfoundland, however you pronounce it over in Canada, and they couldn't make it through the winters, and that's why that settlement didn't last. But that's actually the meaning behind the American Thanksgiving holiday, is that thankfully they lived through the year. So, and it wasn't actually made a national holiday here until 1863. So,
Okay.
Thank you so much, Harper. And by the way, let's because meanwhile,
I feel underdressed.
Meanwhile, Nick Wood and Tony Bennett arrived to the screen. Oh, it's Peter. It's not Tony Bennett. Sorry.
He's looking dapper.
Accepting the Nobel Peace Prize is.
Yeah, no kidding. You look great, Peter. Wow. I was asking about you last week.
Can't hear you, Peter.
Yeah, hi, Peter. Nice to see you.
We have to know why, Peter.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't be shy, Peter.
Peter, we
Can't
can't
hear
hear
you,
you.
Peter, at the moment.
I think Peter spent all the money in the papillon. And the microphone.
I'm expecting him to have a champagne glass.
Yeah. For
Ah,
sure.
yeah.
He looks great in his tuxedo. Wow.
No sound, Peter.
No
Oh my
sound.
Aw.
No sound.
We,
Oh,
That's
we
beautiful.
will have Peter in Charlie Chaplin way today. Nope.
Nope, nothing, Peter. Nothing.
No.
Peter.
no.
Corinda, have you got
sorry.
sound?
Corinder? Hello?
Corinda's just updated
No.
to Windows
Sound.
11.
Brenda has no sound either.
Same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Nick,
Is
do
it-
you have sound?
I hope I've got sound.
Yes, he does.
No,
he
no,
does.
No, we can't hear you, Nick. Say something else.
Let me hear you.
Cool. That's what we like to see.
Let's keep the ball rolling and let's head to Belgium.
Okay.
What do you have to tell us, Chris, today?
Well, in Belgium, we have two great things. We have beers, like Trappist, but I had a special task, and that was present Belgian tradition on our most important day, and that's New Year and New Year's Eve. And then it's the tradition that Belgians are giving each other Belgian chocolates. And I bought some for today. Here.
Okay, I think I have someone who loves your chocolates.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. This there.
That's me eating your chocolates.
Okay. This there is something special about the Belgian chocolates because we don't have cacao. And it was a special thing that brought us chocolates, a thing that no one should expect. The history of the Belgian chocolates comes out Switzerland and Italy. And it was Jean Neuhaus, someone who was from Italy and who has a name Casanova, who has then moved to Switzerland and has another name, and he has changed his name in Neuhaus because that was better there than be called a Casanova. And he wanted to learn in Switzerland for medicine, but he couldn't see blood just like me, and so he failed twice. And then he has become a pharmacist. And when he was that, he has gone to Brussels, to the Galerie de la Reine, and there he has begun a pharmacist job. And he has done something to please the people. He has covered his medicine with a layer of chocolate. So it was better. It has a good taste and not a really bad medicine taste. And it was his son who has found that he could take the chocolate cover and fill it with delights. And so the Belgian chocolate or the Belgian praline was made. And after him, Leonidas, also a person first from Turkey, then from Greece, who has come to Ghent, has made the most known Belgian chocolates. And I have it here. I bought one. That's this. That's the Manon.
Stop doing that.
And the Manon, that's a Belgian praline which is filled with buttercream, with coffee toast. He has a nut here and a layer of praline. You can see the black, that's dark brown praline. And it's really good. It tastes good, and it has white chocolate over it. So, will you make jealous?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
No, it's not fair. It's not fair.
That's not fair.
Only I see me now.
Good.
Well done.
Get her back.
So it's a pity that I can't give you all those chocolates now. I must eat them alone.
Oh, dear.
Thank you so much for your explanation. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
well, yes or no.
And now let's cross.
Yes, you do, Corinda. Sorry,
Yeah.
Marco.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to UK and let's bring Mr.
Yeah.
Stephen Healy to talk about something.
Right. Something. Thank you, Marco. May I share my screen?
Yes, you can.
Thank you very much. That's most helpful because I have to make an admission
Okay.
to the class. I have not done my homework. And
Oh.
my homework, I know, Nick, what could possibly happen? That is an English tradition. And I'm just going to scroll up on the right-hand side because you've got to see it to believe it. Is a photograph. And yes, Nick's mine. I hope you can see the photograph on the right-hand side. An English tradition dating back to 1448 is Morris dancers. And the Morris dancers are mainly found at festivals and celebrations, and they come and they do their own Morris dance thing with swords and sticks and a whole range of items, and they just dance. And nobody understands what's going on. Nobody understands why they're doing it, but it looks good. So it's stayed with us since 1448, when they first got paid. They were paid 7 shillings to dance in London.
Enough on that
I
thing.
do believe, Harper, there are 140 troops in the USA. They don't call them troops; they call them jingles. Don't know why. These jingles can be found throughout the UK at celebration. Tradition going back to 1448. You have to see it. If you went onto YouTube and Googled Morris dancers, you would find them in Pinefettle, enjoying themselves. The crowds enjoy it. It's all part of the day out, if country fair or a market or some such activity, and they will turn up and they will do a dance. And it's not, in its early days, it was men only. Now it is men and Thank you.
Can I add? I used to live in Rochester in the UK, and that had at the time it had the biggest Morris dancing festival in the UK every year, and the whole street for like 2 days you just could not move. And Morris men, and they were lovely, real ale drinking, really nice chaps. One of them was telling me that they had a fertility dance because lots of people, when they watch it, they bash their heads. A lot of the youngsters might laugh and think it's a bit silly, but they have this fertility dance where basically they do their little dancing, they're jingling with the bells on their legs, and then they charge the crowd, and it puts the bejesus up any youngster that is taking the mickey. So yes, it's really quite a cool thing. I mean, I just happen to live there, so.
Hello.
So good, because we have here also in Portugal and also in Spain, there's this kind of dances as well. Some with just sticks, some with swords. So it's funny to see that in other places in the world there's some kind of similar dances as well. But now let's head to Canada. Let's see what Maria has to say to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have a sweet.
Wait, Maria, you need a proper introduction.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's lots of fun here. I did some research, and there's one sweet that's called beaver. It's beaver tails. Can you hear me? Okay. And the beaver tails is the sweet that's flat out, because we have beavers in Canada. You know, they're in the rivers and they cut down trees and they make their habitat. So this is actually an Ottawa favorite that can be found all over the globe now. And believe it or not, it wasn't until a couple of years ago that I actually had my first beaver tail. It was delicious because they put different type of toppings. So this is the history of it. In 1978, Ham and Grant Hooker set up a stall at a community fair to sell their deep fried pastries sprinkled with cinnamon sugar. It was the beginning of the Ottawa Dessert Institution Beaver Tails. A beaver dessert institution. Think about that. You could call it a shack. I think the posts were cedar that had come out of the bush. I pulled the burner out of a propane hot water heater. That was our stove. And so that's how they started. And at that time, it was 75 cents. It's a lot more now. So now it's a company that has a global franchise celebrating its 40th birthday on Saturday. And today, the pastries can be found in Japan, South Korea, France, and United Arab Emirates, and several other countries all over the world. He said that the original recipe was passed on from Hooker's grandmother, who loved to bake all sorts of pastries and breads. And now they put all kinds of things on top of it. So it's not just cinnamon, it can be a number of other dessert type of materials, fruits. So very tasty. And it's huge. It's about this big. So those are Canadian beaver tails. That's our dessert.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Never would have thought to eat a beaver tail.
Yes, that's right.
Has anyone had a Canadian beaver?
Pardon me?
Has anyone eaten a Canadian beaver? I just wondered out loud.
No, I haven't, but the natives would have. And I actually saw one a couple days ago in the area where I walk. And I could see the beaver underwater was eating, some a stick that it was carrying to its habitat in the water, right? I did actually see a beaver.
Hello.
Hello, Peter.
Hi,
Right.
Peter.
I wonder if you can. Now, a quick request. Do not type while I'm on, please, because when you type, I'm having to come from a mobile phone. It's standing up. And when you type, I have to do 3 things to get back onto camera because of it. So please don't type. Right. Your question was, why am I dressed like this? Okay.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
one, I've made a first. Stephen knows one of my ambitions was one day to do a live show from a camper van or a motorhome. Well, I'm standing in our motorhome. So we're away down in a trip for the first time. There's two purposes. One, for me to try the camper van out. And the second one is tonight, I'm up for 2 awards, not one, but 2 awards to do for ex-military. And one was because of my contribution to sport with being a cycle leader. And the second is for my business after having my triple heart bypass and coming back and building it up even bigger. So that's why I'm dressed like this tonight, the smartest man on the campsite. Questions?
Oh, yes. Wonderful, Peter. Nice to have you
And
back.
someone mentioned a singer tonight, Tony Bennett. I'll give you a few bars.
Yes.
I left my heart in San Francisco. There you go. That's your bet. Okay. So, I haven't been for a while. I've had a stressful month. And it's even been a stressful morning. Unfortunately, with a bad on Friday, and I'm down here. And because the insurance let me down, I've never been off the phone all the time I'm here, and I'm wanting to go back home for a rest.
Wow.
Good idea, Peter.
Yeah. So,
sorry, Peter, where are you?
First, down in Edinburgh, just south of the city. And you know, one of the fantastic things I can use here, and I've used it 3 times already since is Uber. Now, we don't get Uber in Aberdeen because the city banned them. They wouldn't let them in. But the Uber is absolutely brilliant. And I don't know if you used it before, but by Jings, it's great. You know, it's a great bit of kit. You know? Yeah. So, what's new? Want to ask anything else?
What's a good Scottish tradition?
Well, it used to be at New Year in my city anyway. People would come with a lump of coal on New Year's Day, and you stayed in your house until someone knocked on your door. That was called, in your language, first footing. The first foot over the door would bring you luck. So in Aberdeen, it's called first fitting. Yeah, first fitting, as we would say, first fitting. You're waiting for your first fit. And if you had a bad year that year, you found the person that came over your threshold first and said, "Don't you ever come over my threshold again, you jinx." I had a new guy, a third new guy recently. He had to get a week's holidays honoured, so I sent my guy to pick his van up, and on the way home he had a crash, and the van is now written off. So I phoned my new guy and I said, "Hey, just to let you know, enjoy holiday. Don't feel bad. We don't have a van more."
Yeah.
So that was a tradition in here when we had coal, but we may have to go back to coal because we might not get gas from Russia pipeline.
Yes, you might have to revert back to coal.
And the other thing with that is Britain banned fracking. We don't have fracking here. It was banned. And we may have to look at that again. Otherwise, we'll have to be cold. Anyway, that's enough from me. I'm going to just listen in now. Sheila will be coming in and putting on her ball gown and everything like that. So I'll just listen in. Okay. Nice to be back. And it's been stressful.
Yeah. Good luck, Peter.
Good luck.
Good to see you, Peter.
Nice to have you back.
Oh, and by the way, if you wear braces, because my trousers are falling down, I've lost so much weight. I just thought I'd let you know that.
We don't want to see it. We don't want to see it.
Suspenders.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
Okay, thank you,
Hopefully
Peter.
see you tomorrow, Stephen.
Yeah. Bye,
Okay.
Peter.
Cheers, Peter.
Bye-bye. Success.
We've got a comment in from Kelly in Sarnia, which I saw on screen fleetingly.
Yeah.
Regifting a lump of coal.
There's a lot of regifting going on in Canada. Always has been.
Okay, so now let's bring.
I think the biggest regifting thing in the world is probably fruitcake.
Yeah, probably. I haven't eaten
That
that
seems
in
to be the
years.
biggest thing, and nobody really gives fruitcake anymore for like Christmas here in the U.S. But that was always the thing that back in my parents' and grandparents' days was fruitcake.
Yes,
But nobody
fruitcake.
ever ate it; they just gave it to somebody else the next year because it like never went bad.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, back to
Okay,
topic.
I need Nick is there waiting to join the conversation and to come to the stage. Let's bring Nick.
Yay! All
I
hail
love
Nick.
that catchy tune, Marco. Thank you for that. Actually, and it's very regal, and that's pretty much what the tradition. I thought, what's a part? Because I knew Stephen was going to do Morris dancing, so I thought, what is a very very English tradition, and that is bonfire night, the 5th of November. And so a little history to set the scene. So for those that didn't know, obviously the UK, well, England used to be like all these European countries, we used to be a Catholic country. And then good King Henry VIII, bless him, he wanted to marry Anne Boleyn, and the Pope said, sorry, mate, you're already married. And he said, oh, in that case, then I'm afraid I'm going to create my own religion because I'm the king and I can. And so England became a Protestant country overnight. I don't think he consulted anybody, however, so we did. And so he was a Protestant, and then he had his son, Edward VI, I think it was. But then he died, and then it was Queen Mary. Now, Queen Mary was a Catholic. So, so suddenly we became a Catholic country again. And Mary, we didn't like the Protestants. No. So she set about murdering as many as she could. And anyway, cut a long story short, she didn't last that long, and she was succeeded by Elizabeth, his other daughter, who was a Protestant, like her father. So there was a little bit of retribution. My goodness, how it was all going on. Anyway, after Elizabeth, she didn't have any children, so she was succeeded by James I, who was James VI of Scotland, keeping it all nice. And so, and he was a Protestant, but there was obviously there was lots of Catholics. It was a split country. There was probably more Catholics than Protestants, and they decided, let's put another Catholic king on the throne. So they wanted to get rid of James I, and they decided to do it at the state opening of Parliament. So when he came to the Parliament to open Parliament, that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to blow the whole thing up. And they nearly succeeded. But luckily, depending on which side of the fence you're sitting, we didn't blow up Parliament, and the king survived. But all the ringleaders were caught. But the main ringleader supposedly is a guy called Guy Fawkes. And so ever since that time, we have on November the 5th to celebrate it, or celebrate the fact that it didn't happen. We make big bonfires. We make a guy. So we as kids, you just get old clothes. You take your dad's old trousers and shirts. You stuff them with straw and whatnot, and you go around and you sit outside and you go penny for the guy, and people will give you money. I'm not sure they still do it these days, but certainly we did as kids. And sometimes you get some money, and then big bonfire, put the guy on, and that was it. So it's a very, very British tradition. But all the people that were caught, man, they were, I'll bet they wish they didn't get caught. They were hung, drawn, and quartered, which was particularly grisly. So there you go. And actually, to this day, every state opening of Parliament, they always check the cellars as a tradition, because that's how they caught them in the first place. So that's a bona fide Houses of Parliament tradition on the state opening of Parliament. So there you go. That was my thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was either going to be that or cheese rolling, and I thought, who wants to roll cheese down a hill? There's the drama in that. A bunch of people rolling the cheese down the hill, racing after it. Whoopie do.
So it's time for me. There you go.
Hey.
So today will be a gastronomic, sweet, okay, not sweet, salty lesson, okay? Because this is, I'm going to talk about the most famous fish here in Portugal, which is not Portuguese. And I was curious to know
Mhm,
why the hell
mhm,
the most
mhm.
famous dish in Portugal is not even Portuguese. And we have a huge sea in front of us.
Mhm.
So the thing is, we were really busy crossing the sea, and we needed a fish who prepared in a way that can be eaten during the trip. Okay,
Mhm.
so the thing is, even though Portugal we have amazing fish in our coast, in our sea, the thing is they were not enough because we eat lots of fish. So we went to the north, Norway, and also Canada, and we discovered the bacalhau codfish. Okay,
Mhm.
we invented a way to conserve it. It's the right word.
Yeah, I think so.
The codfish
Okay.
salt. It's only a Portuguese way. Okay, so if you buy a Portuguese codfish uh, dried with salt, don't
Mhm.
heat it in the same day. Otherwise, you will have a really bad day. You will have to have, I don't know, a barrel of water to drink. Okay. As I mentioned, it takes around 2 3 days to
Mm.
water him. Okay. You need to put the codfish inside water. You should change water 2 3 times a day at least. Okay,
Mhm.
so you can remove the salt, and the s- the bacalhau would be good. Okay, so this is the reason we needed a good amount of fish, a big fish, and also he has good nutritional qualities as well.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's the reason why we have the codfish. And the second thing, it's something that usually people uh, don't know how to tell the difference. You can be fooled by greedy people who want to get your money and who tries to sell you cat instead of rabbit.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
Cat instead of rabbit.
that
it's
was during the war.
Fine.
so
Marco,
yes.
I've eaten rabbit in Portugal. Well, I hope it was rabbit.
Rabbit.
That's
I love rabbit. I love rabbit. It's delicious. Oh, well, that's
No,
Chinese. That's Chinese. They should
I
say that
love
about the
cats.
Chinese.
no. It should be a rabbit, of course. So the thing is, let me share the screen with you. So there you have. We
Mm.
have these two cakes. Okay, as you can see here,
Mhm.
they are really similar. Okay, and the thing is, usually, and this happens mostly in foreign countries where there's Portuguese communities, they sell you this cake like it
Mhm.
was this one. Okay,
Okay.
this one is pastel de Belém. This one is pastel de nata.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
you may be
Okay.
wondering, they look the same
Mm-hmm.
almost. This one, as I was some minutes before the show started, they don't have a kind of regular pattern of cooking in the top. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because you can see
Mhm.
this one, it's a little
Ah,
bit
yes. Okay.
darker here. This one
Yeah.
is darker. There are some of them. They look even more wider or darker. Okay, they don't
Mhm.
have a regular pattern on the top, and this one it has. As you can see, they are really similar, and believe me, it's easy to tell. Also, they are not that burnt. They are not so
Mhm.
okay. Usually they are whiter. Also, the texture it's different. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
as I mentioned, both of them are amazing. This is one of typical thing we like to make here in Portugal. I do this often, unfortunately, which is a cafe, an espresso. Okay,
Mhm.
we don't drink
Mhm.
that cafe that other countries used to drink.
Yeah, okay.
Here in Portugal, it's 95% espresso.
Mhm.
Okay,
Hmm.
a really strong cafe. Be aware of that when you come to Portugal. If you this, believe me, Harper, this thing, this little thing has more caffeine than the mug you have.
Oh,
Okay,
absolutely.
I've been to Europe. I don't drink coffee in Europe.
Okay.
believe me. For instance, the Spanish, they have it looks the same, but one day a Spanish came to me and said, "Oh my God, your cafe is so strong."
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really strong. Okay, so how you can tell the difference between one and another without tasting him and having this, because you need to train your eye to tell the difference looking at
Mhm.
them by
Mhm.
this is the best way to know if you're eating pastel de Belém or pastel de nata. This is the only place in the world who sells pastel de Belém. There's
Okay.
only one place in the world, in Lisbon. It's
Hmm.
close
Yeah.
to the main touristic part in Lisbon, where there's the monastery of Jeronimus and other monuments related to discovering as well. Okay, it's a beautiful place. I think it's getting again crowded. Okay, but it's one of the
Mhm.
most famous spots in Portugal. And there's this place. Usually, they have a big queue line waiting for their turn to buy and eat these cakes. Okay, so this is the only place, I think you can tell by the merch. Okay, exclusive, that they are pastéis de Belém. Every other else, it's pastel de nata.
The nata.
I've had
Okay,
that. It's delicious. Yeah.
yes, and
Nata.
the best way to eat, I like to eat this with cinnamon in the top, a little
Mhm.
bit.
Ah,
And
okay.
also here in Lisbon, in the pastel de Belém, they besides they have cinnamon and also powdered sugar.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
I
don't
love.
recommend to add sugar because they are so sweet. So
Mhm.
Ah,
Mhm.
okay.
avoid that. So this is the thing. Because usually people, oh Marco, pastel de Belém only in Lisbon, in that specific cafe.
Cafe.
Yeah.
Okay, anywhere else, pastel de nata.
Pastel de nata. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Marco, I think
yes,
you can order pastel de nata on Amazon.
maybe I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I don't know how good that would be.
Something for your carousel.
Chris is full of ideas. I've actually eaten pastel de nata. I went to a Portuguese restaurant in Niagara Falls. He's the only Portuguese restaurant around, and he makes
Mhm.
them from scratch, pastel de nata. And then I had that with a cappuccino. Okay, we Italians love our cappuccino. We have our espressos, but we love our
Mhm.
cappuccinos too. So
Okay.
Yes, it's really good. I and there's other options. There's a Brazilian nata. Okay,
okay,
Yeah.
it's for a kind of, it's high, a little bit higher. It has some nuts in the middle,
okay.
and it's really,
Mhm.
the thing is, it's even sweeter. Okay,
Mhm.
Oh.
Mhm.
Mhm.
if you hit a lot of them, you will get like
Oh yes, oh yes. You know what's missing, Marco? Well, what are the ingredients in it? What are the ingredients in pastel de nata? What do they have in there besides
nata. It's milk
Caesar?
cream,
I'm sorry?
milk cream.
Oh, milk cream. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and sugar.
And eggs.
Well, something else though, isn't there?
Yes, eggs from
Or I
chickens.
think,
Okay.
and that's it.
And butter.
And butter. Yeah.
Yes, but they are made with in some small cubes,
Mhm.
and they go to the oven, but they are really tasty. Okay, and the thing is, as I was mentioned to Harper before the show started, there's 90% of them they taste good.
Mhm.
5% they taste amazing, and 5% they don't taste so good. Okay.
Okay.
And the difference between these two main groups, pastel de nata and pastel de Belém,
Yeah.
is that pastel de Belém, it's for granted that it tastes amazingly.
Mhm.
Okay. And after I don't know, maybe after 20 years of being Portuguese, getting the Portuguese citizenship, you can tell the difference between both of them.
It
Okay.
takes 20 years. Okay.
But yes, and the thing is, I was telling, I think last time I went there, it was, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. And
Mhm.
in this place where they sell the pastel de Belém, they are really jealous and strict about this. Okay, for instance, if you go somewhere else, and there's this thing, there's people from, for instance, Canada, France, uh, United States. Okay, they use the name Pastel de Belém because it's famous. It's
Mhm.
a good brand. They kind of appropriate in a not good way, and they say it's Pastel de Belém, but it's not. It's Pastel de Nata. End of story. Okay.
Okay.
Everywhere else is Pastel de Nata.
Mhm.
The thing is, once I was there, seated, waiting, and there was the waitress walking around. Okay, usually people from Lisbon, they are not the nicest people in Portugal. Okay, they're not, believe me. Even though you can see, because usually for foreign people, we are nice
Yes.
from north to south, but we can tell the difference. Okay, because we have a trained eye to see. And the thing is, I was there, and by accident, instead of pastel de Belém, I said pastel de nata.
Okay.
And she looked at me like their eyes turned like shotguns, and they said to me something like this: "Silence! I kill you."
That sounds like Peter.
So, Peter, it's Ahmed, the death terrorist. So that was one of the things I was willing to know was why British they have the drive wheel in the opposite side.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Please
I don't know
explain
it.
that. I can't figure it out. Okay, so who's going to tell us?
Well,
Good question.
I think I'm right in saying that, of course, it was the British that invented driving, and so
Okay.
we
Okay.
drive on the right side of the road, and if you don't drive on the same side as the British, then you're driving on the wrong side of the road.
Okay.
Okay.
In days gone by, if you were on a horse or you're on a coach and you were attacked, you had to keep your sword hand free for fighting.
Yes.
And that
Right.
is why, yeah, that is why we drive on the left hand side.
And
of the road.
most people are right-handed, so that's why they drove with the left, and then they were able to,
Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
That's
Well,
probably
you know,
how
in
it is.
Australia they drive on the left-hand side, and New Zealand, but not in Canada. Canada, we went right back like with the Americans, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Australia and New Zealand, well, they still have the same queen as we do, so
Well, we
therefore
do
they still
too.
drive.
We
Still
do
drive on the same side of the
You
road.
No, you've got Elton John.
We do too. I guess some things we've
No.
changed, Stephen.
Oh, Nikita, you will never know.
Well, just want to say to Elton John, best wishes from everyone for the operation that's taking place later this week, and hope you make a speedy recovery and can then go and tour in the States.
Yes. Yes.
He's
Okay.
an icon. Yes,
Maria
Steve.
mentioned
he really is, yeah.
Mhm.
Maria mentioned a moment ago Amazon, and Amazon Twitch was hacked today.
Oh. Oh.
And whilst the site didn't go down in Facebook style,
Mhm.
information has been leaked and the software has been leaked. And if you got paid by Twitch, then your payment details have been leaked.
Oh dear.
No.
Oh,
Incredible.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
wow.
Crazy world.
Wow. Really dirty stuff going on. Really dirty stuff going on.
Hmm.
Anyway, in good news,
Thank you.
in good news, Mark,
Yes, yes,
who,
Steven.
who operates OneStream? Who's got OneStream?
I do. Oh, I do. Yes, I do.
Good.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. I'll be in touch tomorrow. OneStream are looking for beta testers,
Oh,
which means
love
that we get to try out things before everybody else does.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay.
I'm feeling so excluded.
Ah,
Well, it's switchboard or OneStream or both.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
mhm.
of the software that's around, OneStream are the ones that are actually doing the most. I
Mhm.
mean, I did
Okay.
a show in the OneStream group today about a new feature,
Mhm.
and the new
No.
feature. Well, I was talking about broadcasting to your website.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
and I gave step-by-step instructions on how to do it.
Mhm.
But then they asked me to reveal two new features. One of which is you can now, when you put a show on OneStream, you can change the cover image, because everybody was
Okay.
arguing about the wording on the cover image that went on the website, which told nobody
Yeah.
nothing. So you can change the image. And the second thing is that you can go direct to Twitch without using RTMP. Sorry, direct to Twitter without using RTMP.
Twitter.
So, two bits of
Mhm.
news. Okay, technical breakover. I'm going to be quiet now.
Very interesting. Very
Yes.
interesting. Do you still have to use Be Live to get onto OneStream, or do they have their own studio now?
No, they don't.
Let
They
me
don't have their own. They don't
Not
have
yet.
their own studio. Not yet.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Because I know you were talking about that earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
One day, who knows? Switchboard may do the same, Nick.
Mhm.
Yeah, you never know. They promised us so much.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll come good.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the Facebook being down on Monday, I wasn't too surprised that it was down, because I guess over the weekend or late last week there was some anonymous somebody did an anonymous report on that's actually works for the Facebook on how they're purposely putting out negative things to influence
Yes.
society and everything. Well, I guess over the weekend on Sunday, CBS 60 Minutes actually stated who that anonymous report came from. And so I think Monday morning's shutdown, I think they shut everything down, and it was like, get all this stuff off, because that way, because there's going to be a huge investigation or
Sure.
whatever.
Sure.
It's like, nope, we don't have anything. I think it was more of a purge to get rid of all the evidence.
Sure, of course, of course. It's all dirty politics now. I mean, this is a social media site. They shouldn't be able to stop people from saying what they want to say, right? They're just providing a service. Since when do they become a part of the government or part of the media? I mean, that's their job. It's just for, they sell their friggin' advertising. I'm sorry, but I'm so tired of all this stuff going on. The advertising, right, that they're selling, they make billions of dollars. And now they're saying, no, you can't say this. Yes, you can say this, even with President Trump. No, you can't. I mean, who gave them the power? Obviously, the government, the American government. CIA has given them.
Once the American government started pushing money into Facebook,
yes,
at that point, it should have been, hey, you're now accepting government federal money. You can't block people from free speech.
Yeah.
Because before that, you can say, hey, this is my own private business. I have the right here in America to refuse service to anybody. But if you start accepting government money, now all of a sudden, now you're government funded, those rules change. And, I mean, as much as there's some crappy stuff on Facebook, I mean, and I don't like it. Some stuff I don't believe in, some stuff I don't like. I just keep scrolling. I don't think
me
people
too.
need to be shut down. I mean, there's certain things that are just way inappropriate, but that's different. I mean,
Mhm.
Who knows?
Yeah, there has to be censorship because there are things that shouldn't be seen by 13-year-olds.
Oh,
Exactly.
yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not what we're
Okay.
talking about.
And
In-
that's
in the-
filtering. I think that's more filtering than censorship, but I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
That's
in the
true.
UK yesterday, it was stated that our government is thinking of you won't be allowed on Facebook until you're 16.
That might be a really good thing. That might be a very good thing.
In
But
Belgium,
you're
it's
also not
15.
supposed to be. Yeah, you're not. I mean, I have friends who had their 8-year-olds on Facebook. My brother was on Facebook before he was of age. Parents make it for you, and they just make it for what I think the minimum age is 13. And it's like I know kids that were on it, and I'm going, "You're not 13."
Yeah.
One of my nephews was on it, and I'm like, "Hey, happy 13th birthday!" Now that you've been on here for 7 years,
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Same thing with lots of my nieces and nephews. Yeah, I was saying, well, you're never that old, surely, because when they all got on early, and there is a level of parental responsibility that goes with this,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
and so I don't think making it 16 is particularly sensible. But then I don't often see the news, but I did catch some when I was just having my lunch today, and there was these two. They were talking about Instagram, and there were these two 14-year-old girls moaning about the fact that the influencers were always skinny and everything, and then it gives them a hard time. How can they? It's like I said to Debbie, that is no different from the magazines that were out when we were kids, pre-social media.
Yes.
No
You're
difference
right.
and Debbie said, no difference to actually Barbie being around and with impossible nothing has changed. It's just a different medium. So they weren't censoring all the Jackie or whatever they were called, all those little girl magazines back in the 70s, 80s. I think I'm becoming an old git before my very eyes. I'm thinking, stop blaming social media for all that. This is no word of a lie. People say to me, "Oh my God, I can't take all the rubbish on my feed on Facebook." Blah, blah. I have probably got the most positive feed of anybody. I just get good stuff on my feed. I get a lot of you guys, which is nice because we interact, and I interact with like-minded people, and it basically and I say to people, your Facebook feed is a reflection on you, and they go, oh, like, hey, so that's the whole point of the algorithm, and that's how you do it. But rant over.
So let's talk about something that has changed.
Okay.
Last Sunday, it was the final of the World Futsal Cup.
Okay.
And who won the championship?
What is
I
that?
think Portugal.
Yes.
Oh,
Argentina.
I figured if he's asking,
he was asking. I guess I don't even know about that.
Yeah.
What did we miss, Nick?
What is this?
Sorry?
What sorry, Marco, what is it?
Futsal.
Which sport?
What's that?
Futsal. It's football played with inside. Oh my God. The same place where, for instance, basketball it's played.
In a hole.
In a hole.
Like 5-a-side football.
Yes. 5 against 5. Okay.
now
I understand. All right.
Yes. And
well, congratulations.
Like also
No, it's not like football, but it's not like important like football. Marco, is this a little bit like American teams always winning the World Series?
Yeah.
baseball.
It's
Yeah,
the same.
it's like
And
that is the
it's
most
not
serious
international.
event
Yeah.
ever. It's always going to be an American team winning the World
Yes,
Series.
yes,
think it
I
should be
know.
that in the UK.
I know. Yeah, it's so
Well,
boring.
there is one Canadian team, so
That makes it totally okay.
I don't watch it though.
I don't either. You know, I don't watch any American sports.
No, me neither. I never have. But I'm a solo sportsman myself. I watch myself, and but I won't watch other people. It's boring. I prefer doing it myself. Get out there and do it, right, rather than watch it.
No.
I got to say, I do much prefer watching Formula One racing where they're driving at 230 miles an hour, and I am not going near it.
And they do it in the rain, and they do it.
And putting his tires on your head. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you
Yeah.
remember? Hola, Gabriel, ¿cómo estás? do you remind that, because I think lately Formula One lost that glamour it had when there was Ayrton Senna, Alan Prost, and Nigel Mansell.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, maybe you will, when it was it started raining. There's only one guy who could win that race.
Okay.
Do you remember who was that guy?
Hamilton.
Senna.
Ayrton Senna, right? And do you know why?
No.
He was good.
Fill me in.
Because once that guy, he was kind of obsessed, okay? And when he was younger, he never needed anyone. I think it was a kart race, okay? And it rained, and it made a terrible race, okay? Really terrible. And he felt so bad. So he trained it. He was obsessed training in rainy weather.
Smart.
Yes, that's why that was for granted on that time. When it rained, Ayrton Senna had to win.
Yeah, for sure. He's trained for it, for sure.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I remember I used to think Michael Schumacher was good in the rain until he ran up the back of David Coulthard that time.
You can be really good at it, but lose a little bit of traction, you're done.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, they move so
But and that's one of the few races, the auto races, that actually runs in the rain. All U.S. races. Oh, it's raining. We got to stop. It's like, wait a minute. This is where you test your skill.
Yeah.
NASCAR. It starts raining. They immediately stop everything. They cover the car up. They cover.
Yeah,
It's safer.
Yeah.
there is one racetrack in Germany. I can't remember the name. Nickel now.
There's more than one.
Where you can go from dry weather to wet weather to snow. Well, not snow perhaps, but then
Probably
back to
Nuremberg
dry
ring.
weather again. As you go around the 3.5 mile circuit.
Yeah, Nürburgring down by the
Yep.
Trier
Yeah.
Valley. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the car racing world, that's iconic.
Yes. No kidding.
Well, the Chevrolet Camaro finally took out was it the McLaren that used to be the fastest, and then the Camaro ZL1 actually beat him, and it was on a rainy patch that actually got past him. But yeah,
Okay. Interesting.
Oh my God.
What's up? What's up, Marco?
Fine.
That's a good way to keep things. Okay, what's happening?
Yeah.
How is your Amazon life journey, my friends?
Oh, it's good. It's good. I'm gonna do another cooking show, but actually with cookbooks. So I've got a ton of cookbooks.
Will you cook?
Ooh, good for you.
I'm physically there, so
How
I'm going to do
do you cook?
Yeah.
a nice little chilled out. These are the cookbooks that I use. I can run through recipes, and got 15 cookbooks. I just made a little list today, and I thought that's cool. That'll be 6 minutes a book. Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay.
No drama. Gonna have to get
Excellent.
out of the chair. I tell you what, I did happen on yesterday though. Was we when I did the cook off with the dare, and I use Restream and Split, and so it goes to both mine and to
Mhm.
Adair's
Mhm.
Amazon page. Yesterday it wouldn't go to mine. It loaded on hers fine.
Okay.
Mhm.
On mine, it wasn't saying there was anything wrong with bitrate or anything. It was just saying waiting for the stream. So I just wondered whether that's something that Amazon might be picking up on.
I don't know. This is the internet. We'll find out tomorrow, won't we, Marco?
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow, by the way, I will be unboxing a new boom arm because this one, there's one thing I don't like about this one, the springs. Okay.
okay.
And also
Okay.
this
Why?
screw, it's
Yeah.
ruined. So I will have a sturdiest one. So hopefully I think he could be arriving at any time. I'm here
Brilliant.
so
Well,
Okay.
So
I
what
I
kind
actually-
would you suggest? Sorry, Stephen. Sorry.
No, you're okay, Marie. I'll come back because I get the end speech, so I can say what I want then.
Okay. What kind would you
Stephen's got the
suggest,
last word.
then, Marco? What kind would you suggest then?
there's another one without springs. Okay.
Okay.
There's this brand. I think the one I bought was from Newer, Neewer.
Yeah.
Okay, I can send you the affiliate link.
Okay.
But yes, it's kind of sturdiest, and it doesn't have the springs. It looks different. Like this is so thin, and I don't like it.
Mhm.
Also, this
Okay.
screw here, it's plastic, and it's broke. I have to use this. I don't know how we call this
Pliers.
Pliers, yeah.
Yeah.
to tie
Put that on, Marco.
So, thing, and I bought a new one. It's and also I think it will arrive soon. A new share because this one it's not that good.
Okay.
So, but tomorrow I will do if Stephen allows me. I will
Of
have.
course. Well,
ask
I've got to admit,
politely.
I actually watched Homazin earlier in the week, so I knew the arm was on its way. Okay, with Ryan and yourself on Amazing, that was a pretty good show. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
a
watching
pretty
it.
crazy show. So we have these two comments from Gabe. How do you like using Restream, Marco Novo? Okay, I like to use Restream, but my favorite one is StreamYard. Okay, I think we should have this in mind. And this could be good or not that good, which is there's no a perfect solution. Okay, because for instance, Restream has features that StreamYard or BeLive doesn't have. BeLive has features that the other ones don't have. And
Yeah.
but you have to you need to have a favorite one. And my favorite one is
do.
StreamYard.
Yeah, for sure. We all do.
Me be life.
And
Yes. Me too.
Gabby also says that NASCAR, their cars are made of sugar,
Sugar,
and
and they want them to melt. Harper, that's what Harper said too, right?
You gotta wonder.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after talking about cakes, Gabi came with sugar. It's a nice and sweet way to send Steven.
I'm gonna have to borrow that music, Marco.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Okay,
Beautiful.
don't forget tomorrow 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. in the UK, 3 p.m. in Belgium. Myself and Marco will be live for an hour and a half of who knows what, but there will be a boom in there somewhere and probably music as well. So, from Portugal, from Arizona, from St. Nicholas in Belgium, from Canada and Ontario, from Farnborough in England, and from Wiltshire in England, it's goodbye for now. We'll see you all at the same time next week at my place. Bye.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye. it.